paradigm of regular electricity where you turn it off and on like a switch. They don't understand it's like the air we breathe. It just is always there.
Yes, it is always there. The energy is always around us. At least 70% of energy coming to the Earth is reflected back into space. It's wasted. Why let such energy go to waste? And this is my argument. And the second one is the deserts are gradually growing. It's time we act. That is to halt them spreading any more and then turn them to a green paradise. And we have the know-how, we have the technology. What I don't have is the people and the money. That's where the problem is.
I know that your house was set on fire with all of your documentation and your generator that you built. It must have been a tremendously sad and upsetting moment in your life when everything you worked on was set on fire.
Yes, the thing is to understand that the fire lasted 4 days. And it was a question that there was about £5 million of data burnt to stop the work. The equipment, we have no idea where it went to. And we are looking at probably about £1 million of equipment gone at today's prices. It was sad because we were reaching the top of the hill or the mountain. The rest was going to be a slide down it. We had so much publicity running in those days. It's unbelievable that one man could have had so much publicity. It's not only in the UK was so much stored. New Zealand had much of it there. So it was a well-known thing around the world. And yet we had promises and promises and promises to fund us to the market. Agreed, there was a lot of private collections that came in and helped us. There was $1 million from the USA dollars. From Japan, we had $1 million yen come in. From Italy, the same there. So money came in from the massive publicity. Unfortunate publicity was aimed in such a way that the real money people were turned off. Turned off because at first they feared that the man in black would take over, that the government would not let you do it. And I've never believed that. My letter to Bill Clinton as he was Prime Minister, I made that issue clear. I did not believe it was the government that would stop such technology, but those who control the government would be the ones at fault.
Have you ever thought that maybe you're supposed to be financed in a different way than traditional investing recommends or holds the entire entrepreneurial world hostage? In other words, maybe the way in which this work is supposed to be financed is money that is actually given free and clear to develop it again and to prototype it. Many of the investors I noticed in the film that Brad Lockerman produced, they wanted you to build the prototype. They wanted you to patent it. And that's the same investment mind that is a parasite that wants to only be involved after everything is done. The fact is you had it. You already put it all together and it was taken from you. So I think the kind of investment money that's needed is not to be under the direction of a group just because they have the money. This is something that has to be done for all of humanity, and it has to be done in the quiet, and it has to be done in such a way that even the manufacturing of this, it's done in 10 different places. Nobody knows where anything is happening from. And you put the final pieces of it together, but let's say you have one part of it developed in one place and another part developed in another place. Nobody knows what's happening. That's the only way to secure this at the manufacturing level, in my view, to get it done so that it's not interrupted. Nobody knows that they're working on one part of your thing. You see what I'm saying? Kind of like a bicycle wheel. Each has different spokes. And the financing also has to have those kind of spokes so that no one person No one group can ruin it or interfere with its accomplishment.
In 1963, when I went and filed a patent for the Liberty Disc, as we called it, the patent office rang me a month later to say that having studied this application, it was a know-how. Never file a patent on a know-how. Because if you do, everybody will know how to do it, and you'll be pushed out, and you won't owe nothing because some greedy person will own it who got the money to do it. And we cannot guarantee that finding them and taking them to court would be enough award to cover the sheer costs of the hearing. That may not be the case. Again, early this year, we again went to the patent office with a solicitor and a British backer, and because he wanted it patented. But after they saw the demonstration we gave, they agreed I could go ahead and patent it right there and then. But I have to consider two things. A, once you patent it, it's released to the world, and somebody got to be able to make it for that full patent. And that means anyone be able to make it because they got all the details, which I would have to definitely give. The other thing was that if I was concerned about the planet, then do not patent it, because then you're in full control all the time. And that's how it's been all these years, because I never took a patent out. I let that provision run die and did not renew it. So I have kept control of it, though people have tried hard to steal it and done everything possible to push me out to make sure I was finished. And that makes you laugh when you think they don't even know how to put it together. They take your computers, you've got everything on it. They think you'd be stupid enough to put everything on your computer. I said, okay, it delayed me for a few years, agree, to 2000, and I started up again. Then they went and did the same thing in 2003, and I'm still struggling to recover. But the good news is we are recovering, no matter how they think they've won and stopped me. And that's what's upsetting some people at this time, to say that I'm back and we are moving forward. In America, of all places.
I'm delighted. I'm so excited.
Well, I am, because I've been to America a few times over the years to try to set up such an effort. And each time, the people concerned so clearly they were going to own it. And they started sacking everybody that was helping. And I had to look at it this way. If they could sack all these people that have been helping them to put the factory up and make the machinery, they would do the same to me when they know how to do it. They won't need me. And the thing is that it's not a good policy. One person or group owning the technology and can say who can have it and who can't have it, and then charge the earth to make a big fortune for themselves quick.
I know that there is financing for you in what you're doing without the financiers controlling your efforts, letting you go to work on what you need to go to work on again. The other thing I find that was interesting in the film on the John Searl story, his life, his machine, his words, is when Michael Nelson from NASA called you up on the phone and said he's with NASA, but he's not really representing NASA in his phone call. I found that to be a conflict of interest. I didn't trust him when I saw that in the film. You bet he's representing NASA. You bet he's putting himself in a way to be involved with this. I didn't trust him. Did you?
No. The thing is that if anyone really is interested to proceed with this work, they invite you and your key members to meet them, or they'll come and meet you with their officials. You sit round the table, you work up pros and cons, and when you're satisfied, you type up the paperwork and get the legal boys to look at it to see if there's